Formula One is about speed, power, and glory. But sometimes it's about something far more human. Moments when the world's fastest drivers hit the brakes, just to make someone's day. From Max Verstappen sneaking up on fans, to Lewis Hamilton gifting his car to a young fighter. These are the most heartwarming, hilarious, and unforgettable fan surprises in Formula One history.
That was mega!
It all started with one little boy in the stands, tears rolling down his cheeks as the race ended. He was heartbroken because his favourite driver, Kimi Raikkonen, didn't win that day. But destiny had a twist waiting for him. A few hours later, that same boy was led into a quiet paddock. Cameras rolled, the door opened, and standing there was Kimi Raikkonen himself. The boy froze, his lips trembled, and then, pure magic, Kimi knelt down, handed him his race gloves and said, "Hey champ, this one's for you." The kid's tears turned into the biggest smile you've ever seen. And right there you realise, sometimes the biggest victories happen off the track. But Kimi wasn't the only one spreading joy. Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champion, went one step further. He didn't just meet a fan, he gave one a Formula One car. It all began when a little boy sent Lewis a simple video message. "Hello, Lewis Hamilton. Well done for winning. I'm very proud of you." That boy was battling for his life in the hospital, and Lewis wanted to give him hope. So he sent him the impossible, a real Formula One car, one he had actually raced. When the boy's parents opened the garage door and saw the car parked inside, they broke down in tears. The boy smiled brighter than ever before. Hamilton didn't just send a machine, he sent a message: never stop believing. Then came one of the most wholesome moments in F1 fan history. A teenage girl was hosting a small radio show talking about her love for McLaren. Little did she know, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri were standing right outside the door. As she spoke on air, the two drivers quietly walked in. Her jaw dropped. She froze mid-sentence. What are you doing here?" she stammered. Lando smiled. "We heard you couldn't make it to prom, so we brought the prom to you." Flowers, music, laughter. The studio turned into a celebration. She cried tears of joy as her idols hugged her. For her, that day wasn't just special, it was life-changing. Now let's shift gears to something a bit more cheeky. Daniel Ricciardo, the king of smiles, once dressed up as a phone store clerk to prank fans. Wearing glasses, a fake badge, and a ridiculous mustache, he tried to act normal as customers came in. "Yeah, just turn it off and on again," he said, trying to hide his Aussie accent. Some fans started to suspect, and when one woman finally realized who he was, she screamed, "Wait, are you Daniel Ricciardo?" She burst into laughter, jumping up and down as Daniel hugged her. He even took selfies and joked, "I'll give you a discount if you promise to cheer for me next race." That's the thing about Ricciardo. Whether behind a wheel or behind a counter, he knows how to make people smile, but Ricciardo's soft side runs deep. One day, he met a group of school kids who adored Formula One. Instead of a quick meet and greet, he sat down with them for hours, answering their questions. "Does your car need petrol or diesel?" one asked. Daniel laughed. "Oh, that's a good question. Let's just say it's a special kind of fuel, and it's really, really expensive." Another kid asked, "Who's your least favourite driver?" Ricciardo grinned. "The guy who's winning, because I want to beat him." Laughter filled the room. For those kids, it wasn't just a Q&A, it was a day they'd tell their grandkids about. Now this idea, pure genius. During lockdowns, some fans got to meet their heroes virtually. You see, F1 found a new way to connect with fans, virtual meetups. One kid named Charlie was told he'd have a special Zoom call, but no one told him who was on the other side. When the screen turned on, there they were, 3 F1 drivers smiling back. His jaw hit the floor. His favourite, Valtteri Bottas, waved and said, "Hey Charlie, I heard you're faster than me on the simulator." Charlie covered his face, shaking with disbelief. Bottas laughed. "Don't worry, I'll catch up someday." Moments like that showed how much F1 means to people, not just as a sport, but as a connection. Then there was the time George Russell, known for his calm demeanour, gave one fan the surprise of a lifetime. A young boy battling illness thought he was just getting a small video call. But George had other plans. He sneaked in quietly through the back door and tapped the boy's shoulder. The kid turned around, and the look on his face said it all. They spent hours talking, laughing, sharing stories. George brought signed gear and even a few small gifts. In a world full of cameras, that was one moment that stayed beautifully private. Now this one's brilliant. Some fans were invited to test what they thought was an AI Lewis Hamilton voice assistant. "Hey Lewis," one fan asked, "how old were you when you started driving?" The voice answered, "I was 8 years old." But what they didn't know, Lewis was right behind the wall. When he stepped out, the fans screamed, some even crying. One woman fell to her knees in disbelief. That's the power of meeting your hero, when the voice in your ear suddenly becomes a person in front of you. Lando Norris, however, couldn't stop himself from crashing fans' video calls. One fan was recording a gaming stream when suddenly Lando joined the chat. The kid froze. "Wait, what? Is this real?" Lando grinned. "It's me. Don't mess up now. I'm watching." Another fan screamed so loudly that Lando burst into laughter. Moments like these remind us, F1 drivers aren't untouchable superstars. They're real people who just love making others happy. In another surprise, Hamilton disguised himself as an elderly tour guide at Mercedes headquarters. He wore glasses, a fake beard, and even a limp. He showed kids around, pretending not to know much about F1. "This is Lewis's car," he said seriously, "but don't touch it." When the big reveal came, the kids gasped, screamed, and hugged him tight. One shouted, "I'm dreaming!" Another cried, "This is the best day of my life!" And honestly, who wouldn't feel the same? Not every F1 surprise happens in a paddock. Sebastian Vettel once worked undercover at a gas station, pumping fuel for random fans. Drivers pulled up, and there he was, wearing a uniform and cap. "Hello, how are you?" he said politely. When they realized it was Sebastian Vettel, their faces went from confusion to shock to pure joy. For a few hours, he wasn't a world champion, just a man making people smile. And look who's back. Lewis Hamilton, known for his fierce competitiveness, once showed his softer side when he surprised a hard-working fan at a race. Every weekend, this woman helped clean and organize the track. Lewis noticed her always smiling. So, one day, he walked up with coffee and chocolates, saying, "You always bring light to everyone. Today, I wanted to bring some to you." She was speechless. Sometimes kindness doesn't need cameras, just heart. Next up, a class of Texas students thought they were getting a boring talk on teamwork. But when two guests walked in, Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo, the place exploded. They joined the school football team, tossed passes, and laughed as they fumbled their first attempts. Max shouted, "I'm better at corners than touchdowns." For those students, that day became the highlight of their lives. Now, this one might just top them all. One morning, a young fan was getting ready for school when a McLaren supercar pulled up outside. The driver, Lando Norris himself, he stepped out, smiled and said, "Your chauffeur's here." The boy's jaw dropped. I usually take the bus," he stuttered. Lando laughed. "Not today, mate. Buckle up." He handed him gifts, drove him to school and told him, "Work hard and maybe I'll see you on the grid one day." The boy waved goodbye with tears in his eyes. So, which moment touched your heart the most? Tell us in the comments below. And if you love stories that show the human side of F1, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss the next lap of emotion. Because in the end, this isn't just Formula One, it's the formula of the heart.